We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. Here we are with MMAT MMTLP Inc. And in today's video, we're also going to cover Torchlight preferred shares of MMTLP, as both of them are slightly pulling back, but still higher than yesterday's lows, right? So we're going to talk about what's going on here, but they weren't the only stocks experiencing volatility. The overall market did as well. And our SPY bot at 8:35 a.m. sent out a bull indicator. The inflows had crossed the midpoint, full strength there on 42 vision towards the bell. And after the bell, the inflow stayed above the midpoint, switched from red to green, full strength there. And call options went up 70% plus within minutes, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of our growing community of investors, receiving this clarity and edge over the charts, and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. So here we are with MMAT pulling back down all of those gains, but MMAT is trying to hold itself up and build strength here to start that staircase effect. And we're going to break down what the inflow versus outflow in the charts are showing. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity that was mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market and receive this edge and clarity over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of our growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So the home run of the day was from our Tesla bot. Our Tesla bot sent out a bear indicator at 9:50 a.m. And from that moment forward, the outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 100% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge of the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with MMAT MMTLP Inc. trying to build some strength here, as I stated earlier in the video, and trying to hold itself up above $2. It hit highs here of $2.50, rejected that resistance there, and now it's trying to bring itself back up to stop itself from going lower. Now, that 250 mark is not an all-time high or 52-week high, but it was a new high that we saw MMAT reach in this run, right? From where it started way back here at around 50 cent, 60 cent area, right? So super important to keep that in mind. So super important here where we're at in this story, that we're at the higher points of MMAT than the lower areas, right? MMAT has been actually going upwards since October, and not only MMAT but also MMTLP, on the speculation that once the privatization and Nextbridge and MMTLP come together, shorts are going to be forced to cover. Now, when we see this type of action of a big burst to the upside and then slowly coming down, some covering may have happened here, but that's not guaranteed just yet. We need to see how much strength there is here. And based off the amount of short interest that MMTLP and also MMAT have, it's supposedly a lot higher than its own float. So just a one-time burst of some covering is not all the covering. So that is something to keep in mind as well. Now, it's all speculation and not guaranteed, because every time we do have bursts, some covering is happening and the shorts are taking advantage of those runs. But let's look at this here. MMAT has hit a dip area multiple times here, and it was the first time that we've seen dip areas since November 23rd, and it hit it 2 times here, and it did a full transition from the dip area to the rip area. If it's your first time coming across the channel, 42 vision allows us to see the dips to the rips, and then the rips to the dips when the transitions are happening. So far here, we've done a complete transition, and the last piece that's missing, right, from bright green to dark green with red borders and red bars, is white with red borders. Now, it's not guaranteed to hit white with red borders, but something to not overlook. On top of 42 vision, to allow us to see the dips from the rips, we also use the bull and bear indicators in the inflow versus outflow as extra layers of confirmation, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected over to our bots, and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with MMAT under a bear indicator, and the outflows, they started in the pre-market and lasted almost all day. And once those outflows crossed over after the bear indicator, the weakness continued and it went from the 220s all the way down to $2. Here it is trying to fight to stay above $2, and inflows are trying to pick back up here based off the 30-minute chart. And the bear indicator popped up at around 224. Now it's going to be critical going into tomorrow for these inflows to cross back over, because the longer it stays below it, the more weakness we could see, and it could pull things down even further and start reflecting into the chart. Now when you zoom into the 15-minute, you could see here how inflows are trying to come back up, but they crossed early on today. That bear indicator right at the open at 230s, they crossed over, and it's been down all day, right? Outflows dominating all day. Now it's getting really close here, but we want this to cross back over so that could start reflecting into the chart and cancel this bear indicator with a possible bull indicator. We're going to be watching that very carefully here on the 15-minute going into tomorrow, but also we want to see it roll into the 30-minute as this continues to push up higher, and if it can cancel out that bear indicator and get that strength back up. Now, based off the inflows here on the 30-minute, we talked about this yesterday, it hit one of the highest points of inflows today at 0.73, and the previous highs were back here on November 14th and on November 21st, and both of them were 0.4 and 0.5. And right now we are at minus 0.09, right? We were just at minus 0.18. But inflows are trying to pick back up and shifting from red to green. Now, we talked about that in yesterday's video. I thought that was critical and important, and we've hit new highs here, right? Not the new all-time high, but new highs here since October's run all the way up to this point, as well as the highest points of inflows that we've seen. And we want these inflows to pick back up, not just on the 30-minute, not just on the 15-minute, but also here on the 1 hour. And you could see it there. On the 1 hour, the highest points back here at 0.4, 0.5, and the highest point today, 0.73. And these outflows right now, we're at minus 0.25. This is going to be critical. We want these inflows to start picking back up towards the midpoint, and not just on the 1 hour, but on multiple time frames. Now, the first support is 190. Below that is 185. And to the upside, $2 will be critical. And then where this bear indicator popped up around 220. Now, those are the key levels I'm watching here for MMAT, but for MMTLP on Torchlight Preferred Shares, the first support level that I'm watching here is $7. Below that is $6.50, and the outflows here, guys, they crossed in the middle of the day, right around the $8.28 area, got that bear indicator at 880s, and it's been falling since, guys. We want to see these inflows pick back up, not just on the 30-minute, but also on the 15-minute. It's been zigzagging there, but outflows are dominating again. They need to cross back up so that could start reflecting into the chart, so it could start testing resistance levels, and not just the 30-minute, but also, as I always state, the 1 hour will be critical for this to hold up, guys. This pullback could be the setup, as I like to call it, for the next bull run, but these inflows need to hold. Right now, the outflows are dominating, but it has not been over the midpoint. Once it crosses over, it could start reflecting even faster into the stock, and also cancel it by getting a bear indicator, and no longer that bull indicator will be dominating. But if that bull indicator could be dominating and the inflows, they find support and they stay above the midpoint and they start picking back up on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute, and pull up on the 1 hour and not cross back down, that can possibly start forming some strength here and the bulls are going to try to pull it back up. And like I always state, and I like to call it, not guaranteed to happen, and it's not financial advice, it's just me speculating within the volatility, that any pullback that actually finds support and bounces back up could be the setup for the next bull run, especially if inflows continue to dominate on the bigger time frames. That bull indicator does not get canceled, and then also the 30-minute and the 15-minute are crossing back up. Now the first resistance level that I'm watching is $8, and then above that will be $8.50. If that's accomplished, then I'm watching $9. Those are the key levels that I've talked about as it was pulling downwards, as it's coming back up. Those are critical, and then going back up to higher levels if we find support and get that staircase effect going back up and cancel that bear indicator and get a bull indicator in the process, and the strength in the inflows back over the midpoint, and the 1 hour holding itself up from falling even further. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below, and as always guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.